All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 191st episode of the Drinking Partners podcast. Yes, this is our Dennis Rodman episode, because that's my guy. Switch teams a lot he did, but he's a champion, man, and he brought something to the game that no one else, he brought a flair to the game, a passion to the game that no one else, they couldn't match, man. That's what we do. We bring flair, passion. Day wears weird colors sometimes. I kick cameraman. I don't know what the fuck. It's just a Dennis Rodman episode, because what other 91s do you know? And I definitely wasn't giving it to Kevin Green, although he was a great Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker. But me being from Cleveland, I try not to give Steelers any shine.
That was a very good one.
I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/Drinking Partners. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher. You can find us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at PartnersPod. 191 episodes, man. We've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
Hey, listen, you love us. When you see us in public, you tell us you love us. Now, please, at the click of a button, tell the internet, tell the world, tell everybody. Go tell your friends about it. You love Drinking Partners, and we love you back, man. And as always, 191 episodes in.
Yeah.
You know, we took a little break from recording, but it'll never change. Every time we come back, all right, we going to say this 191 times now we've said it. In lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Henny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who's carried that trend and everybody who supports us, man. We appreciate that. Y'all make this possible, you know what I mean? Because it definitely ain't me and Dave coming here with great plans. We just come in and talk shit and be ourselves, and y'all fucks with us for it. So we fucks with y'all, man. We appreciate that.
Truth.
And if you're listening, this is not episode 202, but it's gonna sound like it.
It's been a while since we've been.
It's been a while, man.
We took a little, a little break.
We just haven't been here. I don't know if our lives are hectic, and you guys gotta understand our lives are hectic. So we're in your stereo, your radio, whatever the fuck. How do we say that now with podcasts? Remember, it used to be we're in your stereo. What are we? We're in your earbuds.
We're in your listening to device. Like.
In your earbuds every week, but we're not, you know what I mean? We still live lives, and so we appreciate y'all rocking with us and going through this journey with us, man. But it's been about a month since we've been down here. Down at the dungeon, and we're gonna have to get reacclimated. We're gonna have because we got a great guest, and I know it's got like some great beer in the building. It's gonna be
it's like being like everybody's had like that long weekend. You'd be like, and then you go back in and like everything's new now. Like you got emails piling up and shit like that.
Oh
like,
yeah, when you take PTO from work, you come back, you got 137 in your inbox, and you try to figure out who do I really got to read.
So we're gonna knock the rust off, but nothing knocks rust off better than booze.
That is true. So we're kind of closing out our shows for the year. Be on the lookout for just information for January. We started up 2019. Thanks again for a great 2018, man. Them epic nights were epic. So we appreciate everyone who came out, who supported us. Look out for information for the shows. We're starting back up in January. Dave, you got first night down at where are you doing first?
Byham Theater, man. Yeah, downtown. December 31st. Bring your kids, bring your wives. Like it's a family thing.
Bring your kid, bring your wife.
We got Mia Jackson out of DC, and we got Norlex Belma out of Brooklyn. So it's gonna be a dope show. I'm excited. It's a big room. Always like big energy. And I don't know, it's the one time that I can actually like perform in front of like kids and
feel important.
Yeah, like
it does make you feel important. I did it a couple years ago. It does make you feel important, make you feel like you've done something good. So, and you've done well with that. So good shit with that, man. And it is a good room. Bring your kids. can't promise that they're not gonna learn something that you wasn't trying to teach them.
It's a comedy show. Come to learn.
Yeah, it just won't be said in an offensive language.
Yeah,
but,
it's like any kids cartoon. Like, you know what I mean, that's like PG-13. That's what you expect.
It's like Bob Burger.
Yeah,
Bob Burger.
yeah. Like your kids is watching it with you, and they don't really know. Like they're just laughing at the big movements.
Yeah, but bring the tablets. They could be up front with the tablets, and you have a good time, man. It's great for the city, great for comedy. So we appreciate that. I'm ready to get into this episode, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready
true.
to, because we have. I mean, she was on the cast. What was it? 4 years ago.
4 years ago. We got to figure out what episode this is. Like, we were new as fuck, and like she came through like and with a lesson. And
taught us a lot. One of the first reps we had on, I believe.
Yes.
At that point, with a different brewery, but she's on with one of my faves, one of your favorites. We have a rep from Rheingeist, Ali Wyrostek. Did I nail it?
Nailed it.
I nailed it. In the building. Say what up to the people. I'm done.
Got it twice in a row, which is awesome.
I've been practicing. Y'all don't
Twice in a
understand. I've been practicing. You know how hard it is to come back after a month not down here and do that as the initial last name? Like, gotta say what up to the people, though.
I'm like, hey, you've got 3 vowels, and the rest of the consonants in that name don't make sense, so have at it.
You gotta say what up to the people.
Oh, hey, what's going on, friends? It's been a while. It's been 4 years for me. I was with Otter Creek and Long Trail the last time I did this podcast, so it's been a minute for sure.
I mean, since then, like, cause then Rheingeist wasn't here, right. And like now, it's here,
and they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like, how did that happen?
I mean, it helps that the brewery's making some great beer. It makes my job easier because, like, I don't do any of the hard part. Like, the hard part's making good beer. I just kind of like sell it to people.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a crowded market. Like, There's only but so much shelf space. Like, I mean, everybody's got. Everybody's in the game. Like so, it's tough. It's not an easy gig.
There's some great beer out there right now, and then there's all these local breweries opening, and they're putting out great beer. And if you got your old school, like your Sierra Nevadas of the world that are still making great beer, so it's tough when there's just a lot of it's crowded market, but then there's also just like a lot of good stuff that I want to drink. And it's like, hey, I get free beer sometimes, but I'm like, I'm still gonna buy that. Like, I don't need that, but I'm gonna buy it anyway because it's probably delicious. So.
Yeah, and Rheingeist is consistently on tap. I mean, even in places that don't have a large craft presence, you'll see a Rheingeist on tap. What in this industry? So you go from Long Trail, Otter Creek, you're here with Rheingeist. Like, what determines? Like, because I know, for example, in the mortgage industry, you'll see people move from mortgage lender. It's a small group of individuals who just kind of go from company to company. Is it like that with reps? Do reps generally stay with a company for a long time? Are you always looking for startups or newer places that are broadening their footprint? How does that work?
I think, like, for the most part, reps like do move around. Obviously it depends on your company. If there's areas to grow with the company, can you get promoted? But the beer industry is very incestuous. So it's like, someone's wearing, the guy you see wearing a t-shirt for one company, 1 month might not be doing that the next month. And, beer opportunities. And if you look at like the breweries that were popular even like 5 years ago, some of them aren't anymore. So, you see a lot of breweries even like pulling out of markets because, the beer is not as relevant, especially like the larger regional guys. Are having some issues.
So beer relevancy, how is that determined? Like when you say the beer is irrelevant, because I mean I'm in Pittsburgh, so it's obviously booming right now. So we're just basking in the glory of all these new beers. But what would make a beer relevant to a different market?
I think it's like the styles. So like hazy IPAs are everywhere right now, and it's like if you don't make one, you're kind of going to get left in the dust because that's seemingly all everyone's drinking. So. Like styles from like the 90s, like, black IPAs and like German style alt beers and just like older stuff that like, when craft was coming into the market, is like, how can we ease people into this to get you off of your, Coors, Bud, Miller, and like get you to try this craft beer? So as breweries evolve and like kind of make the newer styles that people want, some of them don't always do that. They kind of get left in the dust there.
So I mean, how much feedback, like how much like influence can you have? I mean, because if like with your market, like you're there, your boots on the ground, like talking to people face to face, like that, like how much of what you're saying goes back to them and influences, what they bring out here and, what they brew for, say, an area like this, if it's a large enough market.
I think, right. So they actually do listen to me a lot, which is awesome. We are not an old brewery. We just turned 5. So we are kind of like younger, whereas the last one I worked for was founded in 89. So, a lot different, right? But they do actually listen to me if they make a style that, is not something I think I could move. I just don't have to bring it in, which is really cool. Or if I'm like, hey, I think I could do a lot with this. We made 115 beers last year. So,
wow.
Yeah, right?
Shit.
So, I've got stuff to play with. And then, not every style is going to be a home run. Like they did a Japanese rice lager and the beer was great. But what am I going to do with that?
So
who's buying that?
Where when they put that together, where were they like, yo, Allie, go here with this? It's Japanese rice. Well, I didn't even know. First of all, I'm trying to figure out what Japanese rice is. But where do you send that lager?
I mean, like, and like that's more like in line with that, like those Miller Lite commercials and shit like that, where they're like, or Bud commercials where they're like making fun of folks, like in that, type of, like where it's like it's dope, but in this area, like who's going to actually like
Hokkaido?
Do they have beer there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I've passed it a million times. I don't think I've been to it.
Yeah, that's the type of place a Hokkaido is. I've driven past it. I've never been there.
But it's been there forever, though.
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time.
You got to know where it is just in case someone happens to ask where that type of place is. Because they sell like, it's not even Japanese food. They sell like pizza and shit. It's weird. Like, I've been in there a couple times.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Exactly.
It's a buffet, right?
Yeah, if someone asks you for a Japanese buffet, just tell them go on Brownsville Road, like you're going towards the waterfront. And it's there. And they have a kids menu.
It's on the left-hand side. I live over that way, so I pass it all the time. I've just never been there.
Yeah, I used to live over there past it all the time. It's a great place for employers to take employees where they don't want to spend a lot of money, but they want you to feel like they appreciate you. You take them to a Japanese buffet. I want to upgrade you from Wendy's. We're going to take you to
I mean, and the Wendy's is right there. You can go.
That's where you're going to go after. Like, you go stop in there for the company, but then you go to Wendy's afterwards.
Hit up that dollar menu.
Yeah, so what how did you come in contact with Ryan Guys? Do they send out like a what's it called, a headhunter, and they find all of the reps and they like try to recruit you? How does that work?
They did actually find me. It was cool. They just did some market research, and I had my name came up a couple of times in there.
No, you can say your name ring bells. You ain't gotta be bashful.
But so my name had come up a couple of times in their research, so they did offer me the position. And with the brand growing the way that it is, there's a little bit more potential for me than where I was prior, which is unfortunate because I really did love my company that I did work for, but just a better opportunity here at Rheingeist.
So what is this that we're drinking right now?
We are drinking Cheetah Lager. So this is a new one. It just came out in August, but it's available year round, and it's pretty crushable.
It's mad crushable.
Yeah. But yeah, super light. It replaced a beer that we used to make called Cougar. And I can't tell you how happy I'm about that, because every single beer fest I ever worked, every middle-aged woman would come up to me and be like, I love a Cougar because that's what I am. I'm like,
yeah. It's right there. It's a softball. You gotta, you know what I mean?
But like, is that the market they were going for? Like,
and we just wanted something in the portfolio that was like mild, easy to drink, not offensive. And
that sounds like a Cougar.
Yeah.
Mild, easy to drink, not offensive, but it gets you on the low.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we name a bunch of our beers after cats, and I'm not sure why. But like Cougar, Cheetah, Puma, Panther, Sabretooth, like No idea why.
Where does the name Rheingeist come from?
So Rheingeist is we're in the over the Rhine area of Cincinnati, and we're in a 1800s X bottling plant of it was defunct, and then somebody revived it. It was a brand called Christian Moerlein. So we're in their old warehouse bottling plant. So we are the ghost of the Rhine. So it's Rheingeist.
There's an actual that the name makes sense.
Yes.
There's a backstory that isn't like just somebody's preference to like, oh, I love this video game. It's like, oh, it's got like history of the city. Shout out to Ohio, shout out to Ohio.
Cincy,
State.
that's crazy. Yeah, no, I've been drinking this shit for years now, and
there's no conflict for you. I mean, you're from Pittsburgh, right?
I am from
Pittsburgh. There's no conflict, being with a Cincinnati-based company. Did it take a little time for you to?
I get it sometimes, though, and I get it both ways. Like, if I'm in Cincinnati, like, selling, they're like, oh, yeah, hey, this is the Pittsburgh rep. Oh, well, screw the Steelers. I'm like, okay. And then if I'm in Pittsburgh and I'm like, oh, yeah, Rheingeist from Cincinnati, they're like, well, screw the Bengals. I'm like, I just want you to drink my beer.
Talking about beer, though. Like, how do we get to that escalated
Pittsburgh
quickly.
people love their sports.
Yeah, I mean, so what have you noticed? I mean, in this region, like, what do people want to drink now? Like, what are the trends like over the years? You've been talking to people about beer for a long time, like way longer than like I've probably even been drinking beer, and like trends and everything. I mean, like, what's the thing now?
I think the thing is hyper local, like support your local brewery. And, again, there's so many and they're putting out some good stuff. And I think it's the whole, like the tap rooms are cool. Like, hey, I can go to the tap room. I can bring my kids. I can bring my dog. There's a different food truck every week. So I'm not bored with the menu. So, that's the biggest trend. And, a lot of bars are going that way. They're like, oh, well, I'd rather buy a beer from 2 miles away than 500 miles away. But, and that's my challenge is like getting in like, hey, there's still some good beer not being made here too. I just need you to buy it. But it's a delicate balance for sure. But it's a lot of local. It's a lot of, hazy IPAs. New England IPAs are huge. And then the flavored stouts are big too.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I love them, but
like, are they like, is hazy like still like, so is that just like, is that the new thing? I thought like after like winter came through, because like I don't want a hazy so much now as I want like something dark, like like a stout or a porter. Yeah, I mean, it's that season. I thought haze would kind of like die down a little bit. You're like, you're telling us it's like not even close.
Not even showing signs of it. I mean, I think a good example of that is if you look at some of the local guys when they do a can release, you're like, it's 25 degrees outside. And people are still lined up to get it. So I think that's a good indicator that people are still digging it.
Yeah, something about a porter or a stout, though. It gives you that winter feel. Winter, you want to feel every season. You want to feel that season. I mean, even though you're drinking it all cold, you do want to feel it. But with beer, I do like to drink the types that I like. So if people are feeling that haze, then I can see where they're still buying it. But I do like look for a porter or a stout.
No, I just thought that like, with the change of the season thing, folks would like maybe, I don't like, again, this isn't my area. I just was like personally like, yeah,
drinking. This is your area.
Yeah, no, it's really not.
But you're not selling it, and so
yeah.
I'm very interested in the aspect of selling. You're selling not just a beer, you're selling more or less a company to a company, more or less. Like you're walking into bars and you're obviously successful because, again, I see Rheingeist on tap everywhere. Like, how do you sell a Cincy beer to a Pittsburgh tavern when everyone's focusing on local?
Honestly, I just like, and I know this is super contradictory, like, I know I'm in sales, but like I don't consider myself like a saleswoman because I'm like, hey, what do I got to do to get you into a keg of truth today? I'm just pretty much all relationship based. So I'm like, if I can get you to like me, that's all I need. Like you just have to like me enough to want to do business with me.
Yeah,
it seems reflective of the industry.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely the name of the game, and it's yeah, like I work with people that are literally used car salesmen and it works for them and they're good at it. But like, that's just not, I was never like really trained to do that. So I'm just like, yeah, hey,
I'm at a Subaru sale the other day. I was like, why are you even telling me this? Like, I'm not going to buy a fucking Subaru.
Did they try to sell you?
Are you ashamed of this? You sell Subarus? You talk to young 32-year-olds as if I'm going to buy a Subaru?
Did they try to sell you a car?
He approached it as if, look, I know you're not going to care. But I'm just like, why the fuck are you telling me? Like, don't, you waste it. I could die tomorrow. You just wasted all this time listening to you about your fucking Subarus that I'll never buy. I don't even know what would have to happen in my life for me to go to a Subaru lot. And find financing.
But like, how fuel efficient was it?
It's a Subaru. I would never drive it. I would have the same tank of gas when I took it off the lot. Like, it's so fuel efficient. Subaru comes with a Connect card because you'll never drive it. That's terrible. We'll never get a Subaru sponsorship. I apologize.
Man, sorry, Subaru.
You guys just lost some big money.
I know, man. There's some Subaru out.
Somebody's in a Subaru right now. Like, fuck them. I'm going to go buy another one right now. Like,
we got a lot of Subaru listeners.
We just sold them a Subaru.
I know we got a lot of Subaru listeners because we got a lot of dads that drink craft in their garage and they drive Subarus. We're their escape from the family life. I understand. They get jealous because we're escaping from family life and they get to listen to us have fun, escape from family life. And
I don't know. Unless they got a motherfucking a WRX, then I'm a little jelly because them motherfuckers live a different life. They always want to fucking race. Anytime motherfuckers are speeding past me or some shit, it's a Subaru.
Or a fucking Honda.
Yeah, like the trick, that little fucking, you know what I mean? It's like yeah.
And they randomly will meet at malls in Pittsburgh in the parking lot. Have y'all ever come across this? The random, like, Fast and Furious meeting in the mall parking lot of Babyland out in fucking wherever, like in Monroeville. The babies are us. And you just got all these people with these tricked out fucking cars with the lights underneath. Like, why are y'all here?
Like, what else could you guys possibly be doing tonight?
Where are y'all keeping these cars? Because Pittsburgh doesn't have garages.
It's either that or a military base, man. Like,
well, I've never been on one of those.
Oh, man. The whips are insane. Like, that's what they do. Well,
yeah, they I guess when you're living that life, you get large sums of money that you don't really have access to, especially if you're deployed, and then you got to get something.
Yeah, when you come back in, it's like, well, there's my baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like people are gonna, because in that lifestyle, I mean, people are gonna come and go in some regard. You know what I mean, like, but like to have that thing that you can work on and add to, and like, I mean, every time you come back, like I could see that. You know, that culture coming up. But
so I guess as a rep, do you have like a fridge full of just like exclusive beers that someone is giving you under the table, and like that's where you go? That those are your babies.
It's not. I feel like I've come full circle where I'm like, I don't care if it's rare or exclusive. Like I just want to drink it, and I've gotten very much into High Life in the past couple of years.
High Life.
I love High Life.
You know what, man? Listen,
it keeps coming up.
So
High Life, little MGD.
Keeps coming up.
Like I'm not mad at it.
But yeah, I've got a little beer fridge. I've got a kegerator because I'm a lady.
Oh, okay.
So
she's such a fucking lady.
I'm a lady. So I have Sierra Nevada Celebration on tap right now because 'tis the season.
Oh wow, man.
We gotta get to that level. Well, we talk about what we have on tap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have it on tap.
No.
I don't know if I have anything on tap. I'm gonna keep it cans, bottles here and there. Like I usually don't keep it at the crib much. Like it's
Smart.
just so much. Like which just catch me off guard when I get like have guests over or whatever. Because I'm like, oh, like they expect me like did they come over to have like the crazy assortment of things, and I'm like. I got some old vodka from this party. Like,
oh, you trunk liquor?
Yeah.
You got your trunk liquor on deck?
I've got an important question then. Do you not indulge in the shower beer?
I don't understand the shower beer.
Okay.
I don't understand the shower beer.
God.
I don't want to mix, like, because all the shit is happening in the shower, and I don't want to eat or like ingest things while I'm in the shower. It's tough.
So, do you want to go first? Because I will do a shower beer.
I love. You can go first because I think most people know how I feel about shower beers.
So it has nothing to do with how the beer tastes for me because I have these. It's about the irresponsibility of me having a beer this early while I'm showering. it's just something with the soap and the fume and all that. It's the worst part about it is where do I place the beer? Because I don't place the beer in the shower.
You need to buy it's like a.
Oh, so you serious?
Oh yeah, it's called the shakuli. It's like a thing, and it's a koozie, and it suctions to your wall.
Ooh.
That's where you put it.
Oh, see, I don't want none of the shower water to get on the bottle or in the beer.
Yeah, you gotta go a little up on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how do you with because the shower is a thing. It's a whole production.
You're not gonna drink. So for me, I'm not drinking the entire beer while I'm in the shower. I might get a couple
good swigs.
Yeah.
But it's just, hey man, as a man, all you trying to do once you're a domesticated man is try to convince yourself that you in control. You try to convince yourself that I'm free.
You definitely nobody in your life would advise you to do that. Yeah, I mean, so yes, that is a you decision.
This is so unacceptable.
Only I am making this decision.
Yep.
You telling me I can't have, what you mean it's 8:30 on Saturday? So what? Having a fucking beer right now with the steam and everything.
I'll have a
hot shower amazing.
I'll have a shower vape. Cause I like to have the whole I'll hot box the bathroom, you know what I mean? I don't put the thing on and then I'll just kind of vape it out a little bit, get the little just kind of breathe that in, you know what I mean?
Vape. Okay.
But I haven't gotten to the beer yet, but now I'm intrigued.
Just try it.
So,
it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's a top fiver for me.
Yeah, and you got to get the swig.
So what is
after
it, a
you get your
can?
lather.
Is it a can? Is it always a can?
I'm a bottle.
Bottle, dude?
I go can because I feel like it would be dangerous to take glass in there. But if you're not putting it in the shower, then you're fine.
Well, we're not being responsible. Like don't try to break. I think it would be dangerous.
See, nobody in your life would advise you to do what you're doing. That is a you decision.
I don't know though. If you've met some of my friends, which I know you have, Day, you've met some of my friends, they might advise me to do that. You've met some of the people I hang out with, and they do that thing.
No, wifey listening to this episode now she's figured some shit out. That's why he keep going to the fridge. I got to sneak the beer up there, and then I've gotten in there and forgot the bottle opener and had to figure out a MacGyver way to get it open. We'll try to run out. When you ever had to get out the shower half wet to get something?
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
It's all right in the summertime, but any other time is the worst time.
Have you ever seen those people that can open a bottle on the edge of a table or something?
Yeah, the cool bottle open motherfucker. I'm not one of those.
No,
I
absolutely
ain't
not.
got the I can maybe, but I might fuck up your table. I might chip it if it's the wrong. I don't know.
I do the smack. When you do it, you got to do the boom.
Yeah, I do the quick.
I can't do the quick. I've fucked up several people's tables. They don't know.
Yeah.
You ever fuck up somebody's table and then lick your thumb and try to smooth it over? Smooth it over.
Right.
Sorry about it. I think maybe my 2019 New Year's resolution, because I've never done it, but have you seen the people that can just saber the bottles of champagne with a sword? And
they just cut that bitch off?
And
what?
First of all, I don't have a sword or even access to one, but that's what resolutions are for. That's what goals are for.
So
we got to reach for that.
So 2020, you'll be sabering off bottle tops?
Next time I'm on this show, I hope I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself with anything that sharp. I'm going to be honest.
That's fair. I don't really either, but I'm hey, let's reach for that rainbow.
Yeah, that's just like a oop whoops and that little oop whoop might just skim your knee, and it just might be the right skim to cut an artery and now you bled out.
There's little ones running around my house. I might fuck around, saber that thing, and knock off a braid. Explain to your woman where your daughter's braid went. That's a tough conversation.
Well, I was trying to open champagne like a baller.
I was trying to be cool for myself.
So that's what happened.
So what is your favorite beer ritual?
Beer ritual?
Mm-hmm. What your favorite beer ritual? The alley, I have to do this, or I do this in this situation.
I mean, shower beers.
Okay.
So I got into boxing this year. And
oh shit, I did see that.
That's scary.
My favorite thing in the world though is it's tough. It's a good work. So I was in a charity fight in Cincinnati. I had to work for a brewery back in July.
Okay.
And I was on the business end of that ass kicking for sure. But I still box because it's a lot of fun and it's a good workout.
Was that your first bout?
First and last, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a sanctioned fight. So for the rest of my life, I'm going to be Ali Wyrostek in parentheses 0-1.
That's all right. You got in the ring.
That was dumb. I hadn't done anything supremely stupid in a while. I'm like, I'm going to do that this year. And yeah.
Traditional or southpaw?
Okay, so I sparred with a righty here in Pittsburgh, and she came out and she was a southpaw. And I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like...
So in regular street fights, that doesn't matter, but apparently in boxing, that matters a lot.
It does. So, and again, like it's how you protect your face and how they score the points and whatnot. So, I literally didn't even know what to do because I trained for 6 months for it, and the girl I was sparring with was righty, and I was sparring in Pittsburgh. Everyone else lived in Cincinnati, so I didn't see my competition. And she comes out, and I'm like, oh no.
And she had YouTube videos of you, like she had followed you on Instagram, like she had your whole life history. You just went out there blind, and that's fucked up on the people's parts who set you up with that, man. We gonna have to catch them like this. Was it one of those situations where she took it way more serious than you?
I don't know. I mean, we both so it was so amateur. You had to work for a brewery. It was for charity, and you had to work for a Cincinnati brewery. So that was everyone's first fight. We were all super amateur, but she was just way better than I was.
See, she might, because look, because I'm afraid, that's where I get a little afraid. Like if I ever did boxing, boxing is not a sport where you can be taking it lightly at all.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
not.
And I feel like I wouldn't have a dedication to be really, really good or intense. Like I would just be trying to get the punches and all that, whatever, and then do whatever. So when you throw charity in front of it, now that automatically relaxes me a little bit. But then you step into the ring, this motherfucker's not relaxed.
No, nope.
You just no, this is for charity.
I got
break your nose for charity, B.
and she did.
That's crazy.
So we gotta catch her outside. Hey, we looking for you. What brewery is she working for?
50 West.
50 West. Are they in any Pittsburgh bars?
They are not.
All right. We'll get them in one so we can find them. Come on out here. No, I can't do. I can't threaten nobody.
No, it was crazy though. It was I got punched in the face sparring, but then when someone's hitting you in the face as hard as they possibly can, it's
what you shouldn't be doing for charity. That's the thing. I wouldn't think that you're gonna hit me as hard as you can
God.
when it's charity in front of the name of this fight. You hit me hard enough to where the fans are, entertained, but don't. Come on, man. I gotta go to work tomorrow. How I'm gonna get these accounts and you fucking up my face?
Well, that was so there were 3 people from Rheingeist that fought. It was myself and 2 guys, and we all went to work on. All 3 of us lost, by the way.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that on the podcast where we're promoting Ryan
guys.
Y'all could have went 2-1 at me.
But we all texted each other on Monday. We were like, "Hey, are you at work today?" I'm like, "Yeah." We're like, "Why?" Why did we go to work today?
Yeah, that doesn't you get a day off, I believe, automatically.
I think we should have.
How does your work schedule? How does that even? Is there a schedule? Is there It would seem that there's a lot of variability in your hours.
Yes.
And you have a lot of control over that. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some paperwork or some time on a laptop, but a lot of it seems to be, you're relationship based. So you're building these relationships and a lot of expenses.
I'm used to operating pretty inexpensively because I didn't have a large budget at my old job. So I tend to go under, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty flexible. The 9 to 5 hours, I'm selling, and then it's hey, I want you to come in and do a tap takeover, or hey, I know I've got to work a beer fest on Saturday. So it is a lot of work. And typically when people think oh, beer up, oh, you just drink all day. I'm like, I wish that's what I did, but it's not.
I mean, it's a part of it, but it's not. I mean, you're dealing with people's money. People don't understand that. Yeah, the title is beer, but this is people's money. You're conveying to a business owner, if you take this product, you're going to make more money. You know what I mean? You have to spend money to get this. I get it. In businesses, you got to spend money to make money. People be real stringent on them expenses. You got to let people wine and dine, especially in a relationship-based situation. Just the worst is to have to come out of pocket to win an account. And you I'm winning this account for somebody else, and I got to spend my money to do it because you acting all cheap and shit. You all cheap. You don't know this is what I got to do. This is a night, this is a swanky bar. They got a bunch of reps coming in to get accounts, and I'm not going to get it just based off of a handshake and a smile. Not me. My smile's fucked up.
I think you could get it.
Nah, I'd be terrible at that job.
Like I said, I'm not really a salesman. I'm just like, oh, hey friends.
Well, you're good at selling yourself, which sounds bad.
Yeah.
20.
No,
I think most people understand where I was going with that.
Listen, I promise I sell beer, guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, but we've always
that's how Rheingeist is everywhere.
we've always like, considered like artists and like, entrepreneurs or whatever, like you are your own small business. I mean, you are your own brand. Like, like whenever I present myself, like anytime like whether it's drinking partners or anything else that's like going on or whatever, like it's like you got to present yourself along with that. And like with you, like your alley with Rheingeist and with these folks or whatever, and like you're not going to promote something that's shit. Like we can't, like we don't, like when somebody comes on as a guest on the cast, like we're like, hey, like we're vetting for to say like, hey, they're cool peoples or whatever. You do the same thing with your brand. You are like the person that they go, oh, well, if she says it's cool, then it must be cool. You see what I'm saying? So like, while, selling yourself sounds terrible, like that's really what we're all doing. Like people are fucking with us off of the strength of who we are. Right. Like, not because you have like this great, like fucking super, categorical, fucking phasmographical, like fucking bullshit, like thing that's going to change your life. Like, like you don't have some magic pill or some shit that's going to like, sure. You're just like, you're vetting for that good product. It's a marriage. You can't be like a good product that isn't presented well doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A good product that isn't presented well is what, an idea? What is that? There's a saying for that. I can't remember what that fucking saying is. There is a saying for that. I'm going to figure it out like when I get home. It has nothing to do with this podcast. I'm going to be sitting in bed with wife like, a good product that's presented well. She's like, what? Like, you hear about it a couple weeks. It's something that happened.
If I get a text at 3 a.m, normally I'm like, I don't want to read this. But if it's that and you figure out the rest of the quote, I'm like, oh, yeah. Perfect.
There we go. So as a young lady in this industry, how have you been accepted? How's everything gone? Do you find that there are a lot of female beer reps either here or even, I know you work with Cincinnati or not now, so
there aren't a ton in this market, which is unfortunate. Okay. I can count on one hand how many female brewery reps there are, but we probably are equal split of men and women, but I've been doing this so long in Pittsburgh that I know a lot of people, but I did one time get mansplained at a beer sampling. The gentleman felt that I didn't know what an IPA was and went on to tell me I had been working in beer for 4 years at this point. And he's like, do you know what IPA means? I'm like, yeah. And before I could finish, he was like, well, it means India Pale. And he went on this whole tangent. And I'm like, all right, great, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for the information. But so my favorite mechanism, though, to defend against that is just act so dumb that I frustrate them. And I'm like, well, if it's an India Pale Ale, how did my brewery in Ohio make one?
An ale.
Oh, that's also my favorite is when I'm at a beer fest and people are like, I only like ales and lagers. I'm like,
that's
great.
That's it.
And you like
nailed them.
You like everything I'm serving.
We got what you like. I guarantee.
You like everything I have.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or, do you have anything that doesn't taste like beer? No. I mean, I do have cider, but that's my favorite question. Like,
I mean, like I guess that's the thing. Like, I'm always, it's weird because sometimes I'll drink something and it doesn't taste like, well, I guess it tastes like beer, but it doesn't taste like beer, like a sour, right? Like, what doesn't taste like a gose, what doesn't taste like beer in some regards, like a super, like sometimes like I don't know, like a cocktail in a sense,
right?
But then I hand it to somebody that doesn't drink beer and they're like, no, that's beer. That's still beer. That tastes like beer. But like, I guess because we drink so many varieties
Right.
that like we get spoiled in the sense that it's like, oh, it doesn't like, but at the end of the day, I guess it all does come from the same shit, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think being on this podcast has just opened me up so much that you could serve me anything, and if you tell me it's a beer and you have an explanation of how it came to be this, then I'd be like, okay,
Yeah, like it.
then there's some new shit out.
Yeah,
Some new shit happening. Like,
there's so much shit.
Just
out
fake
there.
it till you make it, right?
might be faking it. You might. I mean, I haven't, I haven't brewed, so I can't speak to the process any, beyond what people have explained to me. So I don't know how changing this temp or doing this or whatever would change how it comes out. So if you tell me you have a process that produces this and you brewed it, then okay, it's a beer. Fuck it.
They had me shadow a brewer back in September at Rangeist, and it was literally the hardest day of work I've ever had. It just like physically, and I can't even say I brewed. Like, it was one of those things where, like, do you know if you're like baking or cooking and like a little kid wants to help, and it's like, here's this pre-measured cup of flour, just dump it. Like,
That's what they do to us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they do to us.
Yes, that's
When you ever see a video of the drinking partners brewing, we're the little kids in the kitchen talking about let me get that excess off the spoon. That's pretty much what we do.
Yep,
That's it.
that was me. Okay, now push this button here, and but by the end of the day, I was just so sore, and I texted the guy that I shadowed, Peter Mooney at Rengeist, and I'm like, does your back hurt all the time? He's like, oh yeah, just constantly. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was so hard.
Because they put it in they'll put in like fucking 18-hour days and shit like that. Like, like insane amounts of just, I don't know, depends on what kind of system you got going, or sometimes you can get it down to, like, I know some folks, they can throw it. There's always going to be an excruciating hour of work that you're doing, based on staff. But if you're just like one or two dudes back there just like churning and shit, it's curtains, man. Anything
you do for the consumption of others, especially if you're looking at a large group of others, it's hard ass work. You know what I mean? Like, even with food, like, you look at food and you just see it come out on this plate and you're like, all right, you don't see sweat in that. But then if you go into a restaurant, go in the kitchen, or even if you just watch one of them shits on TV, like, you see these motherfuckers is working hard, working crazy. Like, you go see Mima on Thanksgiving, you see, like, she putting in work. Like, she done been up since 4 a.m. She cooked and prepped shit till midnight last night. Like, it's hard work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, hella.
I watch a lot of Chops
Episode
too, so
2
I'm like,
of 2.
they working.
This motherfucking day. Can this be the first episode where we call out how fucked up in this has affected this podcast? My man's he's on his way. He is gonna be here soon.
Yeah.
Now, you pulled out another can. What did you bring out? Oh, you brought the Truth out.
Oh, I brought Truthy out. Flagship West Coast IPA 7.2. I got more of them when you guys are ready.
She started off.
I want to get into this this Bubbles. Where's
Bubbles?
I got Bubbles for
where's the
you.
Bubbles at?
I get you some Bubbles.
Bubbles.
What is Bubbles? Tell us what Bubbles is.
So we do fruited ales. So Bubbles is our rosé ale. It is cider based.
See, now this sounds
Rosé.
like,
Rosé?
Rosé. It's weird because Rosé, Rick Ross, all this swag, and Bubbles, I'm thinking of Trailer Park Boys, and he had absolutely no swag.
No, I mean, in his own way, I guess.
There's a certain community that would have. Let me stop. Bubbles is my dude.
Listen, I got you because I don't either.
Rosé. All right, so this is a fruit ale, you said?
So it's a fruited ale. We make beers and cider, so it uses our semi-dry cider base, but then it is a beer, so we add peach cranberry and wort to it, just to like kind of get it to that place where it needs to be, super clean.
I like that a lot.
This is one of those that people tell you doesn't taste like beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely,
That's
yes.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, you have that.
Because it's so fruit forward.
Yeah.
Look at that fruit.
It's balanced too.
Came back on my P's and Q's.
Yeah. You've been carrying the cast.
He's back in.
You've been carrying the cast, man. No, that is good shit.
Yeah, it's one of our better sellers for sure. But yeah, Truth Bubbles are our 1 and 2.
Is this a newer release? Or?
We've had it in Pittsburgh since we launched. So what I thought is, like, we always had it. And then I found out that it had launched like right before we opened Pittsburgh. So to me, it was just part of the lineup, but to the company, it was new.
I saw Rosé Ale and I just didn't. I was like, yeah, well, that's probably not the thing I'm looking for. But this is actually like dope as hell. This is
really good.
Yeah, my sister would drink this.
I was gonna say for the lady, you know what I mean? I could, you know what I mean? Put this, you put in one of them cylinder bottles, you know what I mean? Put it in a little flute. I could put this in a flute.
And you have to have your pinky out.
Yeah.
Pinky out when you drink it, for sure.
This motherfucker out a flute.
Be classy.
Don't change our anniversary.
Yeah, but my number one, so they made like these ladies bubbles tank tops, and I wear it sometimes, but I'll have like a jacket or a flannel over it. My number one request is it's all men. They're like, "Can you get me one of those?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's for ladies." So
well, we rock different colors now. It's
Yeah.
just a whole
Yeah,
different
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Once the clothes
Open
got
that.
slim, we didn't
open
open
that up. Yeah, open it up. Get the bubbles out there.
get
I mean,
some dudes bubble. I'm like, "Can you
Yeah.
guys make me dudes bubbles tanks?" They're like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "That's my number one."
I haven't gotten to tanks yet. I'm not big on the tanks yet.
Well, what you got to do is get in the habit.
you wear basketball jerseys,
But it's not a
the
tank.
same. It's the same.
The way the jerseys are made, the nipples are secure.
Extra stitching.
They secure the nipple in the back. The tank, like your nipple might, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a negative connotation with tank. It's like a dude who think he bigger than he really. You know, the dudes that got the spaghetti strap. Like, first of all, no man should wear a spaghetti strap. All right.
I didn't know they made spaghetti straps for men.
I think what you got to do is get in the
Gold's gym
habit
tanks.
of asking people where your car is parked, and when they ask you, you just like do the.
I ain't that big
way.
yet. See, I'm big around comedians. That's the thing. Like, I work out much more than the average comedian, so I look good around comedians.
So
then when
you're
a
saying
real
the bar
workout-
is kind of low.
when a workout warrior come out in his tank, now I got to put my jacket on. Now I got to cover up. Now I look bad.
See, I don't even get in the game.
Yeah, see, that's, well, you
I ain't even in the game.
No,
I don't come out without less than 2 layers on. I need the tank, and then I need whatever's on top of that. But there's not going to be just wind layer than me. Nah, fuck that. That's never. I'm not built for none of that. The sun drop on a bad night and it hit to that 60-degree night. I ain't built for 60 degrees.
I'm the same way. Like, I'm cold constantly.
Yeah.
But I'm also very Polish, so if it's hot, I just burn all the time.
See, I'm looking for a hot summer day. If the sun is setting in the west, hit that muscle at the right angle, boy, I look big as hell. Yeah. Don't let that muscle hit me at the right angle. And I worked out yesterday. What?
I mean, which
sexy
filter?
as fuck.
Which filter do you got to use to have that all the time, though?
You gotta stop drinking as much beer as I drink.
Oh,
I drink every day. I don't go to the gym every day.
You are preaching to the choir.
There we go. So the rosé though, I do want to drink this on New Year's. Now I don't know. This is
very good.
This is a countdown beer.
I've seen this on shelves for a while, and I always just go to Truth and then Knowledge. Like those are the two that like.
I love Knowledge.
I went to Knowledge just because we know Knowledge, so I just started getting Knowledge.
Yeah.
But this is now a countdown beer. I will drink this at 5, 4. Yeah, drink this shit. I like this.
That is.
Glad you guys like that. Oh, there's extra, so you guys can have that.
My wifey gonna steal it.
Get them bobes.
This is one of them wifey you drink up, and I don't even realize she drank it up till I'm like, let me go get one of them rosé. Oh yeah, my lady will do that. My lady will drink your last beer. Well, mine. Yeah. She won't drink yours. She'll drink my last one.
Well, I mean, what's yours is hers. I mean, that's just
in that scenario.
Yeah,
but not in every other scenario. I've noticed this as a man. So this has nothing to do with beer, but I wanna get you guys' take on this. So you're domesticated, man.
Yeah.
When is the last time you ever been able to be like, yo, I'm about to go to the store, and you just go to the store for the shit that you originally planned to go to the store for?
It's every time.
No, I never get to do that. Every time I gotta go to the store, I'm like, yo, I'm about to run to the store. There's always an add-on. Yo, can you grab this soap? Can you grab this shampoo?
Yeah.
Can you grab it? I'm like, damn.
Yeah, no, but that's how it is anytime I like go out like with my fiance. Like when me and Kat go out, like there's always an add-on when we go out. So like if I go out by myself, I'm gonna get what needs to be got and like boom, like I'm even going to take an inventory and be like, yo, let's just boom. So I'm going out. Give me what you need, whatever. It's when we go out together and we're like, all right, we're going to go do this. And when we're in there, it's like, oh, you know what I forgot? And now we're over here. Oh, you know what I forgot? And then we're over here. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when I'm out by myself, I'm like, this is here. You got until by the time I leave this door to get your order in. Like, here's your, you know what I mean? Like, here, get your order in.
Totally different.
And then I'm out. But then if she comes with me, then that's a journey. I don't know when I'm gonna see you, bro. Like,
yeah, man, it's taking selfless to a whole nother level with me.
Yeah.
Like, there's no getting up. If I stand up off the couch, I am now working for us. Like, it's not what happened. Like, you ever stood up off the couch and they'd be like, "Can you grab me something out the kitchen?" You're like, I ain't even going in the kitchen. Just get up and start stretching. Like, yeah, well, now that I know you about to go to the kitchen, why don't you grab me something? You talking about? Do you do that to your significant other?
I mean, I don't live with them.
You don't have to live with anybody. It's just in general.
Well, here's the thing. I'm really big into my Fitbit. So for me, it's I'm like, well, if I go get it myself, then I get more steps today.
Okay, so then I gotta buy her a Fitbit for Christmas.
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah. It's a delicate
Life
balance.
hack.
Yes.
Life hack. Okay, so now what I'm doing, it's a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck.
Hey, babe.
Shit.
Hey, babe. You know what a good idea? You should Fitbit me some cookies right now.
Get them steps in.
You should Fitbit. Ooh,
And
that would be
steps
like what, like
in.
about like 10, 15 steps? What you looking at? 30 round trip? Ooh.
It works out so well too because January, most people's New Year's resolutions, I feel like, are like, oh, I'd like to lose some weight. So Fitbit it all day, and then you no longer have to get up and go to the kitchen. Someone else goes to the kitchen for you.
I have just been enlightened.
Yes.
Fellas, you heard it here first. Get your lady a Fitbit. She ain't got a Fitbit on her wrist.
I'm just hoping Kat like skips past this part so that
What you mean? You Gucci.
I'm about to get the
Our relationship is over once this episode drops.
about to get a little Fitbit.
And she know it, because look, she know I be tight. Because you know how when your lady say something to you, you don't say something back, but you get that 3 seconds of, you know I'm tight about this, right? Where you gotta gather yourself. Like, let me respond to this appropriately. Like, babe, can you grab something when you? Yeah, no. Just text me. Yeah. You know, worse, you get the text while you out at the store. Like,
yo,
you be like, because now you got to decide: do I act like I didn't see this text?
But what are the consequences if I do that?
Exactly. There it is. Because I might be making 2 trips.
Oh shit!
Like, if I get the guilt trip, like, it's like, oh
Yeah, man.
I'm the opposite way though. Like, I go to Target because I'm a white lady, and I go there and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I needed this. I didn't know I needed that. And then all of a sudden, the 3 things I went to Target for cost me $120.
Oh yeah, Target trips never are under $60.
Never.
There's no such thing as going to a store like that and coming out with what you want. Any store that just has a wide range of shit, you got to go to specialty stores. Specialty stores, you can go in, get what you want, and get out. You walk into a Target, they got clothes, baby toys.
See, that's why I don't fuck with them.
Like,
man.
all types of shit.
I go get the shit that I need to go get. I get in, I get the like where I know it's at, like, and I get the fuck out. Like, I'll do like a Walmart just because like Walmart has everything and I know the layout enough that I can just be like boop boop boop. But like, you just like let me loose.
Target got too many sections.
Oh, it's
man.
ridiculous.
Too many departments.
You don't go to Target for what you want. You go to Target and Target tells you what you need.
Target tells you what they have.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I went to buy like a box of cereal and some tissues and some sweet potatoes. You're like, well, just kidding.
Yeah.
Now I have a new blender.
Now I got a television. I don't know when the fuck.
I didn't even want that.
I don't know. I ain't got a room for it. Cables only in 3 rooms. Where the fuck I'm putting this TV?
I mean, here in our lifetime, like we're gonna see it just be a couple of taps on the screen and it's at your door.
I don't online shop. Do you online shop?
I spend so much money on Amazon. Like it's I'm like, I don't feel like buying shampoo today. It'll be here in 2 days. Like, it's
in our lifetime,
bad.
like it's gonna be a majority. If it's just gonna, like they're gonna have drones and like shipping costs or whatever are gonna be so like you're just gonna tap it a couple of times and there's gonna be a warehouse that has that shit and it's just gonna just drone your shit off and you're gonna like.
Well, you do it with the grocery stores now. Now you can have them. What is it? Curbside. They got that. Are you in Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They got you on. See,
I'm not Amazon Prime. Cash Amazon Prime. So like,
what's mine is yours, damn it.
Yeah,
That's in your house. Y'all a prime household, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a prime house. She always be like, I'll do my own thing, and then she always mad, like, oh, you should have just used my account. I'm like, but you see, but what y'all motherfuckers don't understand is that all Prime Amazon does is mark it up for the shipping costs, like, because you got a certain list of shit that you can see on there or whatever. Right. I had Prime for a minute, but it's like I could either get something for $12 plus $3 shipping, or I can get Amazon Prime for $15. Like, it's like
I'm cool on all that. I don't like. So here's the thing about me. I'm old school. So it's weird. I feel like we are the best generation. If you're somewhere between plus 30 to 40, right? You've lived before the internet, post internet. So you still got some of those traditional values. So I'm like a traditional somewhere Midwest blue collar dude, and I can't spend money online. I can't have you deduct from my account or charge my credit card, and then I'm waiting for the shit to show up and hoping that it fits or works and all that. Like, I've been burned once, and that was it for me.
Jaded forever.
I'm jaded forever, man. Like, I can't. That online commerce is tough.
You sound old as hell.
That's
right
cool
now.
for
you
me.
You sound like 20 years your elder.
That's
like,
right.
Are you ready for me to make you guys feel older? I met a guy that I work with in a professional capacity, and he is 22, and he did not know what burning a CD meant.
Whoa.
It was a hard pill to swallow.
You know what? And that's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
That's not his fault. They
It
don't
just
even
made me
have
feel
CD players in the cars no more.
No, and like he's like, well, my parents had CDs growing up, and it made me think of my parents. I'm like, well, my parents had like vinyl records growing up. Like,
yeah.
What we were talking about on the Black Forge episode, MP3 players.
Yeah.
They don't know what MP3 is. When that shit dropped, that was hot.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
What, MP3?
because I bought one of those like Discmans that you were supposed to be able to run with. It was like skip resistant.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And it surely wasn't. And then MP3 came out. I'm like, my life has changed so much for the better.
Man, that just a whole nother thing. These young boys don't know about the CD skipping.
Yeah, I mean, like I love the future. I love all of it. I love all the digital things you can get. I love using technology, man. Like I love all that. Like just give me more. I'm afraid of the day where I stop like learning.
You
like,
fucking up the world. You're types.
able to like when I'm unable to know how to use it. That's because it's coming. Like I got maybe another good like 10 years of being like good, and then I'm gonna need my grandkid.
You're the type of millennial that's fucking up the world, man.
Or I mean, it's just kind of like, yeah, give me what was it, 10? Shit, no, 46.
I'm keeping us grounded. You need more Ed Baileys in the world to keep you grounded. Fuck all this other stuff, man.
I've been saying that for years.
God damn it. Bring the CD back. Don't bring the CD back. I do like CDs.
CDs were trash because you couldn't you either needed the little Bluetooth thing or you needed the tape deck, because the tape deck you could still like plug it into your phone or plug it into whatever, and like no matter what device you had, as long as it had the jack in the tape player, you had sounds in your ride. Like that shit that carried us through a lot. Motherfuckers, that's an unsung hero in technology. The tape player, the tape deck with the little wire,
with the aux cord on it.
Yeah, the aux cord tape deck. Like that is an unsung hero in fucking technology.
Who
because
thought
that got us through CDs, MP3 players, iPods, like any device that you had.
Oh, the first iPod, the gray iPod.
All of them. All the Zunes. It didn't matter what you had. If you had that little fucking jack, you were able to do
tape.
it.
You had the little black tape.
Yeah,
and that wire was thick. It never shorted.
The
wire was thick,
It
man.
lasted, man.
And and if you had a good one, it reached to the back seat. So while you was driving, your mans could hold that down.
You could pass the aux.
You could pass the aux.
Yeah,
man. That was. You know what? That's an unsung hero. We gotta do unsung heroes. We gotta get a sponsorship with VH1. We just talk about only millennials would understand this shit. It's just all the millennial shit that we dealt with. Like we could talk about the first classroom computer that had the weird frog game that taught you math. You already knew math. It was really teaching you how to use a computer. You had 15 minutes. All right, and everybody got 15 minutes in the class. They don't know.
Do you remember like when it was like your parents had 2 phone lines because you couldn't go on the internet and use the phone at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like a weird thing, right? Like, that's weird.
Well, now it is, but back then, that was a way of life. You only had the internet unless mommy's best friend broke up with her boyfriend. Now, the internet shut down for 2 hours because mommy's got to console auntie so-and-so.
Because cell phones were... Okay, what is the best cell phone you guys had? Like, if you're talking about, like, throwback cell phones... Best one you guys had.
I had this Audio Vox.
Ooh.
It was this like
That sound like a cricket.
it was like a it was like a it was like one of the first like smartphones that like it was like but it was still like a Nokia, like the brick. It was in the style of the brick, but it was colored and it had like internet capabilities and was Microsoft like Windows like was on it, like this like mobile version of that, and it was made out of fucking like steel, and like it did like all this wild shit, and like I dropped it. I fucking like I did everything to this goddamn thing. I had a kid at the time that was like playing with it. It was everyththing that could happen to this fucking phone, and it never broke because it was solid steel with like anytime I look at
Phone was solid steel.
anytime I look at like these phones or whatever now, like it's crazy because it was before like the big face.
Yeah,
but like
military phone.
they were all plastic. And that's the thing, like, or they had like thick rubber and it was like all big in your pocket and shit like that. And it was like, you could make a phone out of steel and you would never have to worry about any of that, the cracking on the glass. Like, oh, like how much money we pay for like the back of your shit shattering or like it hitting the side all wild, like.
Okay, I had this phone. I had to look it up. I don't know what it was.
Oh, man.
It was Windows. It was a T-Mobile phone. It was a hybrid smartphone sidekick. It had windows on it, and it had a stylus. So it slid up like a sidekick, had a keyboard. It had the little rolly shit.
Yeah.
It had it was just way too motherfucking much. It would freeze all the time. It was the first time I ever got like email on my phone. It would freeze all the time. One day I woke up and the screen was cracked and it was just whatever. I guess it fell off of something. I don't know, but it was I can't think of the name. I'm trying to look at the name. Mine was blue.
Was it the Sidekick?
It wasn't the sidekick.
Okay.
It slid up like a sidekick.
I
and
feel
had
like
a keyboard,
everyone had the Sidekick.
but it had a stylus where you could touch screen. Fuck, it had a menu.
I had the sidekick. Didn't T-Mobile?
I never had a
wasn't
sidekick.
It like T-Mobile had the sidekick?
Yeah, I never had a sidekick.
No. Are you ready
never
for
had a Sidekick.
my most 2000s phone? I had an LG chocolate. Remember that? Remember that guy?
Oh shit!
It like slid up. It could go onto the internet.
It looked like a chocolate bar. Yeah, I mean that was
did, but it also kind of looked like a hybrid of like a chocolate bar and an iPhone because it had the little wheel on it. But you slid the phone up, and it was just the shittiest phone. But it was before Verizon like didn't suck, so they just kept replacing it. I'm like, oh, this broke. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the original smartphones, the screens were like super trash. And they froze a lot. But I remember back when just having the ringtone was a big thing. Like getting the actual music.
Yeah, like because it was like you had the little digital dips or whatever.
Yeah, you had
the like real.
That's what 50 Cent album just dropped. You had all the
because they had whole websites set up where you could cut them bitches up and then download them or whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, pirating through the ages has been amazing.
I'm gonna take it one step further. Did either of you guys have a ringback tone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was your ringback?
I went through that phase.
What was your ringback?
I don't know. It was back in like 3 maybe. So it was probably something like fucking Chingy or some shit. Like
I never did that. I never got into that.
I had
something corny.
I had Coheed Cambria, A Favor House Atlantic. So when you called me, you got to hear a gentleman that looks like a caveman with a very high pitched voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what is crazy is that like sometimes I call people back like and I'll still hear once in a while a motherfucker with a ringback tone and I'm like really like
now is it an actual song or does it just
it was like
yeah
and I'm like but why
like how have you not removed how have you not removed this from your account yet?
Like why? It's 2018. Why?
Yeah, it was 2018. Clear out your voicemail.
It's like, please enjoy this tone before we connect you.
What was it? It was like, please enjoy the song while your caller is being reached or whatever.
Yeah, I can understand a business doing that, which I don't really. Let me just
like
just
elevator
say no.
music.
But I can understand like a business like where like old people like back in the day when it came out, like it would be great for our company if we had these ringback tones, and then like they did it, and then because like this old man at the top just was like so like begrudging, like no, I really think it's helpful for our company, and somebody at the bottom is like, oh, but Mister, like they hate us. Like I could get that, right? I could get that whole back and forth in this power dynamic, but an individual with
no one's ever felt comforted by the ringback. No one's ever been like, you know what, this whole pattern is. It's a lot less offensive now that I get to hear Johnny whatever's best greatest hits. Like, no, nobody gives a fuck.
My anxiety has calmed because I heard soft classical music while I'm waiting for you to pick up the phone.
Like, because I don't know how, I need to know how many like rings before I give up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying like this little bit, I don't know.
Where
what,
am I on the spectrum of what you're getting?
Yeah.
How many times are you ignoring? I don't know. Is it ignoring me? Like.
At this point, just hit the FU button.
But, if I hear a ring back, I'm probably going to just hang up unless you're really important. Like I really got to like you. If not.
Or like, I need something from you.
Exactly.
That warrants a phone call because I don't even like calling people anyway.
Who fucking uses phones to call people?
I think the worst is when nothing is worse than when somebody calls you, leaves you a voicemail, and then she goes, hey, it's so-and-so, call me back. I'm like, I know you called. I know I need to call you back. Why would you leave me that voicemail? Now I have to do extra work on it.
So here's the thing. I'm soured on phones right now because when you get a mortgage, you get calls all day, all fucking day. People try to sell me health insurance. Like I get all these calls from a 216 area code because my phone number is 216. So these motherfuckers try to mask who they are by calling from a 216. Like, I never seen this number before, and it just be like, Blue Cross Blue Shield. What's the
You answer numbers you don't know?
No, I don't answer. I have all these voicemails.
Oh yeah.
I got all these fucking voicemails. I stay with 40 voicemails.
Yeah.
They try to tell me mortgage insurance, health insurance. But I don't know what they try. They just keep trying to sell me shit. Like, I wish they were bill collectors. Like I prefer bill. At least with a bill collector, I could answer and like give you a little attitude. Like I don't owe you the money directly, fam. Like you mad, but like you answer. I've answered it before, and you ever pick up the phone and there's like this awkward pause, and then an automated message starts talking to you like mother.
Yeah.
It's like when my alma mater calls me for money. I'm like, it's some poor work study kid.
They used to just send mailers. Now they're calling.
They call, and it's some poor like 20-year-old work study kid that's just trying to make some cash on the side. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but do you know how much money I owe you? And you want more money? And the only thing you gave me was a decorative zipper pull. Like,
I went to a church 6 years ago, and the pastor is leaving me voicemail, pre-recorded voicemail. I'm like, how is what part of being a pastor is recording a voicemail talking about send your tithes? No, fam, I don't even sit in the pew. You don't even know me. Like, you just asking me for money. Like, oh man, we went on a super we're old tangent.
On money?
That's what we just did.
Yeah, no.
We just went on we're young and old at the same time.
Yeah.
That's weird with being a millennial. Like, you're young and old at the same time. Like, we've been through, but I think we're the dopest. I think we should be the heads of companies. I think all of that should be us because we've lived both lives. We understand the value of both entities.
I think the moral of the story is we've seen some shit. Like,
and it looks better when you're drinking Rhine, guys.
My man. Yeah, it's like, no, I've seen some shit.
So, truth. Tell us why this is the truth.
So the story I heard, and I cannot say this with 100% accuracy, but what's weird is Flying Dog Brewery, also their flagship IPA is called The Truth, and we have Truth. Flying Dog actually submitted it to the TTB a day before we did. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with old Flying Dog, but they were really into like no censorship, like First Amendment. We want swear words on our bottles and we're going to get it, damn it. So they submitted first. We went a day after them and we're like, hey, are you guys cool if we call our beer Truth? And they're like, oh yeah, we don't give a shit. So Flying Dog's awesome. And actually funny about that, I was working a beer fest and they were pouring across from me. And I walked over to them and I'm like, hey guys, has anyone ever come up to you at a beer fest and said, I can handle the truth? And they're like, yeah, like 50 times. And I was like,
you gets all the corny jokes.
oh, all of them. I'm like, did we just become best friends? They're like, do you want to go get matching tattoos? I'm like, yeah. let's just go do that right now. For sure.
Yeah. It's fucking delicious. Like, I mean, it stands out in IPAs.
I think what's good, it's dry. So even if you don't like IPAs, like the back end, you don't have that lingering hot bitterness on it. But we called it the Truth because I guess like when we were, again, I cannot say this with 100% accuracy, but when we were founded, it was just like, truth is the market doesn't need another IPA. But here we are.
Did you just give us your sales pitch?
No,
that's what she be going. That's one of the. Everybody who is in sales has that one go-to joke that they throw.
But I forget where I saw that, like in some company newsletter, and I'm like, I never knew that. Like, that makes a ton of sense. Like, truth is, we did not need another IPA.
Yeah, but it is a very good, like, honestly, like, I mean, if I'm, like, I enjoy seeing that in a place, because, like, it's a go-to for me. You know what I mean, at this point, like, truth and knowledge when I can get my hands on it. I'm usually down at JR's, but it's really about it. Like, that knowledge will turn you sideways.
Yeah, well, it's funny because the knowledge is when the truth comes out. And I guess there's knowledge. I guess there's knowledge in truth.
Well, the good news is you know a girl, so
I
gotta hook up.
I know someone.
What's cool is we switched it. It used to be in a 4-pack and it was a really expensive case, and then we switched it to a 6-pack and dropped the price. So it's more people are buying it, so it should be around a little bit more, which is great. It's a killer beer.
I mean, what's on the horizon for 2019, Ryan, guys?
We got a lot of stuff. So we are going to do more hazy IPAs because that's what people are drinking. We do a lot with nitro. So we've got some nitro.
Oh, like are you gonna get the little ball in the can, or like how does that how is the nitro gonna work in a can? How do you do that?
I don't know. I guess we're not using that, and I don't know the technology like at all. So I'm the wrong person to talk about.
Because like I had a can, and it was like it didn't have the ball in it, but like you just turned it upside down.
Yes, I think that's
and
what
just
ours
let it fucking like come out, and it like just. It cascaded into. So I did it wrong the first time because I didn't like read the instructions. I just was like, oh, like I looked at the kind of beer it was like some like milkshake, some like milk stout with, and like, so I poured it in. It was super heavy and just like thick and not. I was like, this is I don't know. And then like my boy was like, hey, did you actually read the can? Because like it has like it says to turn it down. Yeah. And then I did it. I just turned it upside down and let that bitch just pour. Like I pulled it up and it I was waiting for it to just like boil over, and it didn't. It just cascaded beautifully. Like you just got that bitch out of the tap like on nitro, and it was fluffy and delicious. And I was like, oh, there it is.
There is a rep that works for Fear that he's a very good friend of mine, but he wants shotgun to nitro can. First of all, I can't shotgun.
Won't you like explode? Isn't that how like a pigeon with rice? Like when you explode?
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous, but like I can't shotgun. I have to show you guys a video when we're done here. Let's just say my shotgun video is 1 minute 46 seconds long. I can't shotgun.
That's a super soaker.
It's a tank.
Yeah, like I've got other talents. That's just not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not great.
All right, so I think this is now where the 1 month layoff has come in.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, how do we end this? How does this work? How do we segue into seeing this video? Because I want to see the 1 minute 46 second shotgun. Like, did you stop it? I got to see this. But let the people know where they can find you, where they can find Ryan, guys. How do they get into this great product? The truth, the knowledge, the rosé, all of them got the deep peach down.
I mean, we do have a really nice distribution network in Pittsburgh, so we are in a lot of places. But if you go on to rhinegeist.com and you type in your zip code, it'll tell you where you can find any product we sell anywhere in the city, which is cool. But if you're looking for like local events and stuff, you can follow me on Twitter at PolishGeist is my Twitter handle. So I post about like, hey, where we're on tap, if I've got an event, if I'm at a beer fest, like where you guys can find me and connect with me.
She posts the haps. You want to be in the happening spots. I've totally lost your last name too.
Wait, try. It's been like 40 minutes or so.
It's been 40 minutes and several beers.
Try it again.
Dave, tell the people where they can find us. Give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second.
If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Stitcher under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
All right. So we want to thank our guest, Allie McDub in the building.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on again.
I don't even know if that's right either. That's the thing. Like, you know when you fuck up hold on. I'm gonna fuck it up. All right, so before I leave, I promise everyone, before I walk out of the studio, I will get her last name right again. This is a personal challenge. We want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. We want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me again.
One of our first reps that have come on, man. So this was dope. Like, this is like a revisiting of our origin, like back to our roots.
Yeah, because like, we were both kind of just getting into the swing of things and like figuring out what it was, and like now here we are again, like in. It's a little different. It's a little bigger.
Again. Well, you know what it is. She now aligned herself with Ohio, as we all should. All right. So Drinking Partners is the crew, Epicast is the family, and we out of here. Right? Why Syrah? Right? Damn it! Here's what I've been doing. Wyrostek. Fuck. Here's what I've been doing. I've been fucking doing Wysaki in my head the whole time because I know like Wysaki. So Wyrostek. Damn it!
Epicast.